Hello, dear learners. This is Dr. Kaveri Swami, Professor, Department of Political Science, Christo Jayanti College. Today, I'm going to explain you about the game theory, how it has been used in international relations, and whether it is related only to an international relations and international politics, or whether it has been used in other subjects as well. So, let me take you to the in-depth information and the knowledge about the game theory. So, the game theory to international relation is comparatively a recent phenomena. But however, it was being developed in the domain of mathematics and economics, and it has come to occupy a significant place in the realm of international relations. In essence, it provides the models for studying the games of politics among nations. So, game theory is defined as a body of thought dealing with the rational decision strategies in the situation of conflict and competition. So, when each and every participant or a player seeks to maximize gain and minimizes loss. So originally, this particular theory was being developed by a person called as Emile Borel in 1920s. But the game theory gained more popularity only when John von Neumann brought out the theory of games and economic behavior in 1944 in collaboration with Oscar Morgenstern, who was an economist. Introduction and application of the models of political science. The credit of this goes to Dr. Duncan Luce, Morton Kaplan, William H. Ricker, etc. So, game theory is being used as a tool which has been used to analyze the strategies, strategic behaviors by taking into account of how the participants expect others to behave. Game theory is basically used to find out the optimal outcome from a set of choices by analyzing the costs and the benefits to each independent party as they compete with each other. So the genesis of the game theory, like you have different types of games which are being played, maybe between the two participants, or maybe it could be a team event. If you're talking about like a individual games like two players game, like you have a chess, you have carom, you have poker, or if you talk about the team events, like it could be hockey, cricket, all these games. If you talk about, you have the players, what kind of strategies that the players play and how they act as a decision maker. So whatever the things that is happening in the game, the similar thing has been repeated, or similar thing has been followed in international politics also. So the decision of each player depends upon the decisions of other, just like decision that that country takes, it also affects the decision of other country as well. Since each player are desirous of winning, he has to choose the best of the alternatives available to him. But when making such a choice, he must expect that other players are likely to do the same thing in that situation. Therefore, the game involves a lot of practicality and intellectual ability. Consistency is the demand of the art of game. So you cannot just keep on doing it. So consistency is very, very important. The choice made by each player have to be consistent, not only with what the players, but also with what the other expects out of it. So you have different concepts that are being associated with the game theory. So we have to just relate the game with an international politics or with an international relations. So the very first concept that has been associated with the game theory is the players. Now the players are the decision makers. Unlike the country, each and every country is a decision maker in international politics. So when we talk about the player, so I said that the players are the participants of the game, and they may be an individual or it can be an institution. It can be, as I said, it could be an individual, or if they're playing in a game, it could be the team. Okay, so same thing we relate with an international politics also. Okay, it could be the leader or it could be the country. Fine. So each player is a rational entity with a well-defined objectives. And as I said, they are the decision makers. So at what point of time, what kind of decision has to be taken, that is being decided by the players. So while you play, you need to have certain resources also. So each player has at his disposal some set of resources, and he tries to make the complete usage of the resources in the competition or to the conflict situation, so that if all the resources are being utilized, his objective is to win over the game. Okay, so resources are very important, and maximum utilization of the resources has to be focused by a player. After that, we have rules. So the rules of the game describe how the resources have to be used. Okay, what resources has to be used at what point of time. A rule of the game can be defined as the distribution of the resources and the strategies or the possibilities open to each player in the employment of these resources. And after that, we talk about the outcomes. See, outcomes are nothing but the results. So when a player is playing, as I told you, that he's supposed to have the resources, and he has to make certain rules and regulations. And then the another one is the outcomes, which I said is nothing but called as an results. So in game theory, players are supposed to be engaged in choosing an alternative. You have a number of alternatives are there. You have to keep seeing and checking that which alternative fits you in order to gain the maximum benefits, because your objective should be to have a maximized gain with a minimum loss. Okay, so future state of affairs, it has been described as the outcomes of the game. Such a range of outcome is also been called as the prospects. And then you have the next one is payoff. So what is payoff? Payoff is nothing but it is what the game is worth at the end. That's nothing but what we call it as a result. So every game will come up with a payoff. So the payoff are basically distributed into three types. You can call it as the first big payoff, that is win of the game, that is victory. Second best payoff is a draw of the game, like nobody is winner, nobody is loser. So that's you call it as a draw of the game. And the third best payoff is losing the game. So preferably everybody wants to opt for going for the first best payoff because you're winning the game. Or else to the maximum extent, if you're not able to win the game, at least you come to the second best payoff where you try to at least have a equal, or you can call it as a draw of the game. But preferably the countries will not opt for the best payoff, that is losing the game, that is third best payoff is losing the game. So countries are not ready to take up that. And the other one, the last most important concept which is associated with the game theory is the strategy. So strategy is the concept, or you call it as a basic key concept of the game theory. So it assumes that every player is a rational in his behavior. It also assumes that every player has the complete awareness of the existence of different strategies among which he has to choose the best. That is, whenever we enter to the game, we have certain strategies in our mind, and with that particular strategies we enter to the field. And the moment when we see our opponent team is playing in a different way, we keep changing our strategies depending upon our opponent's strategies. So we come up with some strategies, but we do not keep up those strategies. As I said, the strategies keep changing depending upon the circumstances, situations, and every movement and the step taken by an opposition. So there is also an addition, the concept of minimum and maximum strategy, which implies that the player takes a minimum risk and aims at obtaining the maximum payoff. I hope you have understood. Thank you so much.